I'm a mom and I'm a grandmother. So like you, I am so worried about the future of the environment and climate change when it comes to protecting those for our future generations. We have seen, unfortunately, 4 years of Doug Ford not working to protect their environment or to change climate change, but making it so much worse. I mean, there's such a long list. You know, he ripped charging stations out of the ground. He gutted conservation authorities' ability to protect our environment. He's now building highways. This is a government that's not working for you, working for his buddies. But there is good news today, and that is that we have a leader, Andrea Horwath, who will work for you, who is prepared and committed to doing the kinds of things that we need to protect our environment and to fight climate change, because this is something that we need to do. So I am so pleased and so happy to be here and so proud, in fact, to introduce today my good friend, fellow Hamiltonian, and the leader of Ontario's official opposition, Andrea Horwath.
Well, thank you so much, Sandy. Sandy Shaw's our environment critic, actually, for the Ontario NDP, MPP for Hamilton, West-Ancaster-Dundas. And Sandy, you are doing a wonderful job. And I appreciate your being here and actually hosting us in your riding, which is wonderful. We also have MPP Monique Taylor, who is the representative of Hamilton Mountain Riding. And we have Zaigham, who is our candidate in Hamilton East Stoney Creek. And I'm really proud to be here with all of them, to wish all of you a happy Earth Day and to talk about the plans that we have to really tackle the climate crisis that is upon us. And it is upon us. There is simply no doubt that that is the case. But it can be addressed. We can actually address the changing climate with a number of initiatives, which I'm going to get into a few of in a moment. But we cannot just ignore what's happening in Canada. In fact, Canada is, climate is changing, is heating up twice as quickly as anywhere else in the world. That is a serious problem, and we can see the impacts of that in terms of what is happening around our country and our province. Some key points in BC. Around. That is terrifying. We've seen the flooding, also in BC, but up around the country, particularly here in Ontario. We've seen the flooding. We've seen the forest fires that continue to get worse every summer and displace thousands of people, particularly from northern remote Indigenous communities. These are the kinds of things that we're fighting right now. So when we talk about the fight against climate change, it is something that we have an obligation to address, not only because of the things that I've just talked about, but because, as Sandy has said, we have an obligation to the younger generation, young people particularly, who are going to be faced with a disaster that they really had no hand in creating. That's why it's our job, it's our obligation to address the climate crisis in a bold but achievable way. And I want to actually highlight that because it's easy to get cynical about what's happening. It's easy to say, we just, it's too late. We just can't do anything about it and walk away. That is absolutely not the case. There are things we can do and there are things that we must do. And I'm excited to say that we have some great plans. And Sandy's correct. We've watched as the Ford government has attacked the environment, made bad choices, made the wrong decisions, and instead of fighting for the environment, instead of fighting for the things that we all hold dear in terms of protecting our environment and fighting against climate change, he has done the opposite. He has actually attacked the environment with his decisions and choices. And so what I'm letting folks know today is that you can elect a government that takes climate change seriously and that has an actual plan to make the changes that we need. Our plan reduces emissions by 50% by 2030 and gets to net zero by 2050. And we have a number of initiatives that will help achieve that, including things like electrifying of transit systems, including things like a very robust plan for retrofits, for EV incentives. I mean, there's just so much in this plan. It's amazing. But one of the things that we wanted to highlight today particularly is the development of something that we call the Youth Climate Core. One of our big commitments in our platform is the planting of a billion trees, and that means it's going to need some, we're going to need some folks to help us, some young people and others to help us achieve that goal. And we're going to do that in partnership with communities and community-based organizations. But a youth climate core is something that other jurisdictions around the world have already established. There are many jurisdictions that are far ahead of us. And so although young people have not been the focus of creating the climate crisis, they all want to participate in the efforts to prevent the continuing heating up of our planet. And so we are saying to them, thank you for your passion. Here's something that we're putting together so that you can help us achieve that goal to stop the rising temperatures on our Earth. And so it includes things like, yes, tree planting, but other initiatives as well. Things like remediation of wetlands, as I said, the tree planting. We have a Green New Democratic deal that our deal includes, as I said, a retrofit program. So helping provide kids opportunities, young people opportunities in the retrofit program. There really is a great deal we can do. These efforts, these initiatives that we're inviting our Youth Climate Core to pay attention to or to engage in are also paid opportunities, and they create as well opportunities for credits for school. And so there's just so much that we can do together. And I'm really excited to be here at McMaster, my alma mater, in my hometown of Hamilton on Earth Day to wish everyone a happy Earth Day and to assure people that you can have a government in a couple of weeks' time that's going to take the climate crisis seriously and that has a solid, ambitious yet achievable plan to address the climate crisis. So on that note, again, want to thank not only the MPPs and candidates that are with us today, but all of the other folks that have come to join us, because it's important to identify that we're all in this together, and we can fix the challenges that we have. We just need a government that's prepared to do that. And I will tell you that the NDP is that government. I'll take any questions that folks might have.
So we'll move to on-site questions first. And I believe our first question comes from Sylvie at CH.
Hi. I do. Well, I have to say I'm really excited about Zaigham Butt being our candidate in Hamilton East Stoney Creek. He is a person who has been very dedicated to volunteer work in the community. He's done a number of and undertaken a number of different initiatives, particularly around COVID, to support people who are struggling and make sure that people have their needs met. He is also a recipient of the Order of Hamilton, as folks might already know. He's an accountant, so he comes with some great skills. And his heart and soul is in Hamilton East Stoney Creek. That's where he was raised. That's where he's spent his life. And I'm really proud to have him here with us today.
Seeing no further questions on site, we'll move to Zoom.
First question comes from Matt Van Dongen at the Hamilton Spectator. Please go ahead.
Hi, Matt.
Hello, Andrea. Thanks for taking my question today. Local environment and citizen groups today actually just released a call for the provincial government, whoever the next provincial government is, to protect more land within the green belt, in particular in the Hamilton area, our white belt areas that contain some farmland that is currently in dispute as to its future. Would your government take them up on that challenge and protect that land?
We are absolutely interested in protecting land across this province, and there are a couple of commitments that we've already made, like the Carruthers Creek headwaters, for example, and we are absolutely prepared to have a conversation with Environment Canada, our Environment Hamilton, and I know Sandy Shaw, my environment critic, has been very much in touch with them on a constant basis since she became the critic. But these are exactly the kinds of discussions we need to have. I do want to say that I'm proud that the city of Hamilton decided not to expand their urban boundary. I can tell you that that is a position that I support, and that when I'm premier of this province, I will support their decision and work very hard to achieve the goals that we need to achieve around density, around missing middle housing, to ensure that that we have the capacity to absorb and grow our city with new residents, but in a way that's environmentally responsible and more affordable. Those are some of the priorities that we would have, and I think that the vision that the council set out in that regard is to be supported.
Follow up?
Oh, that's it for me. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Next question comes from Holly Mackenzie-Suter at the Canadian Press. You
Hi,
can go-
Holly.
Hi, Andrea. I was wondering about the Youth Climate Corps. Would those be paid jobs?
Yes, they would. Yes, they would. We've been long advocates of making sure that internships, for example, and co-ops co-op placements are paid endeavors. Young people deserve to be paid for the work that they do. And so, yes, they would be paid positions.
And yeah, so with that, how much are you budgeting for that, part of the platform and for the tree planting initiative? I know they're kind of related, but if you have separate quotes for those two things.
What we have is a costed plan. The entire plan for the Green New Democratic Deal is a $40 billion plan, and it includes not only these initiatives, but a cap and trade system that would in fact pay for the bulk of the initiatives that we've outlined. We do have a costing. We can send it to you if you like, but it is something we're very proud of. Between the revenues from the cap and trade program, as well as bumping up the targets around green bonds, we will completely pay for the $40 billion requirement to fight the climate crisis.
Seeing no further questions, I'll throw it back to you to wrap up, Andrew.
All right, thanks so much. I want to again thank everybody that's here. Wish everybody again a happy Earth Day. And I know lots of people today are particularly reflecting on where we are when it comes to our obligations to stop the climate from changing in our province, in our country, around the world. And I want to thank you all for being thoughtful about that. And I want to reassure you that these initiatives will fix what's been going wrong in Ontario, will begin to bring us to a place where we're fulfilling our obligation to protect our environment, to protect our planet. And so thanks so much, everyone.